guys, YouTube Essentials here. So I have had more than 4 people ask me to recreate this coffee table, and I finally decided to try it out. But before I started anything, I made something small with the cardboard to analyze it carefully because it was getting really tricky for me. And then I noticed that after I have my square at the top and the pattern is all in place, it formed another square at the bottom. Okay, that does not look like an actual square, but it's supposed to be a square. This is going to guide me in making the actual coffee table. So I went ahead to get wood from Home Depot, and then I cut triangles with the wood. And I made 8 triangle pieces. Cutting these pieces was kind of challenging for me, so I had someone help me out. I kept that aside, and then I also got 2 of the square pieces. After I was done, I sanded all the edges down. If you're new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. When I was done, I used the silver spray paint and spray painted just 4. These boards are going to be glammed up with crushed mirror glass. I used the same technique for another video of mine that I made, and the link for that video is going to be in the description box below. Now all I'm going to be doing is using Mod Podge and putting a generous amount on the board that I have spray painted silver, and then sprinkle the crushed mirror glass on top. The Mod Podge that I applied on the board is thick, and it's going to hold all the crushed mirror pieces. Remember that the Mod Podge should be applied generously, but not too thick and not too thin, but just enough to hold up the crushed pieces. I tried my best to make sure that every single space is covered up. I let it dry for about 3 hours and then shook off the excess crushed mirror glass. I used 2 bottles, and this is what I recovered back. I am supposed to seal in the crushed mirror glass to make sure that the pieces don't fall off, but I'll be doing that much later because I was eager to see how this was going to turn out. I arranged 4 of them like this, and then put the square board in the middle. And then later, I flipped all the triangular boards upside down. I'll be holding all these boards together with hinges. I tried other ways of doing this, and trust me guys, this was the easiest way to accomplish this. Now that we have these attached, the remaining 4 boards are going to be covered with mirror reflective paper. And the link for this mirror reflective paper is going to be in the description box below. I'm using mirror reflective paper because the parts where this is going to come on to the design is going to be facing downward, and it's cheaper and much easier to apply. I would have used normal mirrors, but then I realized how hard it was to cut the wood to triangular shapes, and it would even be harder to cut mirrors to triangular shapes, and I have to cut 8 pieces. The roll of the reflective paper was short, so I have this part open here and I will cover it up. This is how I'm going to be attaching it. So the open spaces, that's besides all the other 4 that have been attached to the board in the middle, is where I'll be attaching all of the other boards covered with mirror reflective papers. The hinges will be attached at the upper part first, all around, before I then attach the hinges to the lower parts. This is going to be wobbly at first, so you need to have a support at the back while you are attaching the hinges. I used Gorilla wood glue where all the triangles meet. And then I added hinges to the lower parts. And guys, I attached the hinges before I applied the wood glue. I did not apply wood glue to the top here because the space in between the boards is much wider. The screws showing here will be covered up much later. Now I'm going to be sealing off this crushed mirror glass with Mod Podge. I have everything assembled and I like the way it's coming together, so I can comfortably do this now before I can go ahead with other finishing touches for the project. You can see some little pieces on the floor. Now the Mod Podge that I have applied is going to stop that from ever happening again. The top here has screws and I really want the whole top to be covered with mirror. So I'm going to take another board and place it on top and attach it to the board that's at the bottom using little screws. I did this because we have pointy screws showing at the bottom, so this is the only way that the board at the top can stay in place. These are faux chain necklaces that I got from Party City, and I'll be using that to cover up the space that we have going on here, and this is also going to add style to the design. I'll be using these mirror mosaic tiles for the project, and the link for this is going to be in the description box below. I'm going to be using these mirror mosaic tiles to cover up the wood part here so that when the chain is going to be attached, it would reflect on something shiny. I'm using a hot glue gun just to keep the chains in place for now. And then afterwards, I'm going to go around using a stronger adhesive, and I'll be using an E6000 glue. I cut singular strips of the mirror mosaic tiles to cover up the wood part that's showing to give it more glitz and glamour. I could not get a full straight mirror size that I wanted, but I was able to get mirror tiles from Walmart, and I'll be using this to cover up the top. I'll be using a strong adhesive to attach these mirrors to the wood, and on the chain here, I'll use an E6000 for a much better and stronger hold. I'm cutting pieces from a foam board that I'll cover up with mirror reflective paper, and this will hide the screws that are showing on the board. I used a foam board because it's going to be much easier to press the foam board to the screw. Now I'm going to cover up the wood part that's showing here with mirror mosaic tiles. I did this for all the triangles covered with mirror reflective paper. And this is what it looks like when I was done. This looks a little bit different from the picture that was sent to me, and I really love how my version turned out. This is so pretty and glamorous. And I also want you guys to know that I am not a professional, and all I do is try to make DIY projects in my home using basic items that you all can relate to. It was so much fun making this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember to like and share it with your friends and families. Thank you so much for watching. I have other videos linked in the description box below to check them out, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button.